Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I have a super fun layout coming up for you today. I am participating in the telephone hop as part of the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, and I am using this layout by Janet as inspiration. Basically, the telephone hop is like a game of Chinese whispers if you're from Australia. I assume it's called the telephone game if you're in the States. But basically, it's that sort of game as a kid where someone whispered something to you and you passed it along to the next person, and by the time you got to the end you wanted to see whether the message was the same. And it's exactly like that, but with scrapbook layouts. So we pass our layouts on to the person after us, and we scrap lift that person, and we see what we end up with at the end. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lovely ladies in our team. We are called the Scrappy Shenanigans team, and it started off with Sandie, and then we passed to Hannah and Sarah, Brianna, Janet, Katie, which is me, don't need to say my own name, and then to my sister, funnily enough. So Jess will be up tomorrow, and then there's another Jessica, and then Alyssa is finishing it off for us. And so I have got a special treat. I've actually got 2 layouts for you today. So this is my main layout for the telephone hop. Now, you will know if you've watched some of the videos on our channel already this month, Jess and I are doing a Christmas in July theme on our channel. So all of our videos in July will be Christmas themed. We are using this as a chance to catch up, mainly on our December dailies, but also on our kind of Christmas layouts that have built up over the years. So this layout I'm doing now is obviously a 9x12. I am doing a milestones album for my son, and so as part of that I'm sort of doing photos of him kind of for each month of his first year of life, as well as the first 12 weeks. I've got these set of milestone cards, which is the big 11 months black card that you can see there in the top of the layout. So I've got cards, and I'm just using those in all of my layouts, and they're in a 9x12 format because I had a spare 9x12 album, and I just thought that's what I would use it for. So that's what I'm doing. I'm using a Pebbles collection. Can't remember off the top of my head what this collection is called. I should check that, shouldn't I? It's right here. So, what is this collection called from Pebbles, this Christmas collection? It's cute. I know that. Let's have a look. What is it? Merry Little Christmas. And I think I've used a few bits from maybe the Cozy and Bright collection from Pebbles, which might have been two or 3 years ago. I can't remember exactly. I've got a little bit of that collection as well, and I think I mixed kind of it all in together. And Janet, in her layout, she had these vertical stripes going down, or strips of paper, and she'd stitched through the middle of hers. I have a sewing machine, but I have a confession. I have never sewn on paper, and so I am not sewing on mine. But I did rough up the edges like Janet did, and then I'm going with 3 clusters of ephemera around my photos. Now, I don't have a title on my layout because the milestone card that says 11 months is serving as my title. But I've also got the 3 little clusters like she did. She had a lot of like big word and phrase ephemera pieces. I don't have those, but I've kind of brought that into my layout with the Merry Everything banner above the photo, kind of gone with that. She had a lot of frames in her layout, so I actually pulled out one of these frames. I feel like they were from a Maggie Holmes collection. Maybe like Gather or something like that. I don't really remember. I didn't have the full collection, but my sister actually got these frames in a kit that she purchased, or she's part of, Kitaholic Kit. She got it in that, and she didn't use them, so she handed them on to me. And I've only got one left, I think, out of the 4 frames, or maybe she only got 2 of the frames. I can't remember. Either way, I've got one left, but I'm using this one. So Janet also had some splatters in the back of her layout, and so I decided to do my splatters. I think Janet did this too, from what I could tell in the photo. I did my splatters before putting all my embellishments and my photos down. It looked like that's what Janet had done, and I thought that looked cute, so let's go with that. So I did. So I'm adding gold, and I have basically finished that Heidi Swap Colour Shining Gold. You guys know I've been working on it for a long time, and I have pretty much finished it. I think it's time to let it go. And my first bottle of mist that I have used up, so I'm very happy about that. So I'm using that. And then I think these are Distress Oxides, I'm pretty sure. I think that one's Worn Lipstick that I just put down. And then I think I use the Cracked Pistachio as well. And I really like the Distress Oxides to splatter. I think I like them because they dry much lighter than what they appear to. And so they're quite subtle in the background, and I think it looks good. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to put my photo and my milestone cards back and then add my ephemera. Now, the reason why I said this is a bit of a bonus layout, a bonus video, is because I've got 2 layouts in one. I actually made another layout first for this challenge, and then Jess and I decided we were going to do our Christmas in July challenge, and we wanted to try and make all of our July videos Christmas themed. So I actually went back and did this layout again. But I didn't want to not waste the video, because I mean, it's not a waste. I made a layout, so that's great. The layout's in my album. So it's by no means a waste, but I thought I would just add that layout into this video as well. So you actually get 2 layouts in one in this video. That's why it's a little bit longer than my normal videos. So you don't have to watch the second one if you don't want to, because it is pretty much the same as this first layout. It's just in 12 by 12 size. But anyway, if you would like to watch it, please just keep this video running and enjoy. So I'm letting my splatters dry, and then I will come back in and embellish, but the embellishments are going back exactly where I had them before. So nothing changes really, and I will edit out me sticking them all down, because I figure you don't need to watch that, because they do stay in the same place. And it is a little bit fiddly sticking everything down and putting foam on things and stuff. So I often edit that process out. Let me know if you would prefer to see it, because I can leave it in. It just makes my videos a little bit longer. That's all. And you have to listen to my voice for a little longer. So you can see I'm using fun foam to back my photos and that milestone card, and then just adding the double-sided tape on and then sticking that down. Because it's been a while since I've worked on a 9 by 12 size layout, and so I just needed to remind myself how to make that work with my photos, because I've printed out full size 4x6 photos. Actually, the photo is a smidge smaller than 4x6, but by the time I layer it all up, it's around 4x6 size, and so is the milestone card. They were little. I didn't have as much room around the photos to play with as I thought I would, and obviously it is 9 by 12, so I had to just get my head around what that size, is like. Now, I did 9 by 12 album in 2018. Yeah, in 2018, my that year album is 9 by 12, and I did really like that size. It's just too hard to get in Australia. It's really too hard to get. I believe it's actually pretty hard in America too, but it's even harder in Australia. So I actually stopped, and I did have a spare album and page protectors, so I decided to use it for this milestone album, and I'm glad I have. Although I've only done 2 layouts in the milestone album, so one day it'll happen, right? So I've stuck down all of those ephemera bits that I had placed, and I'm just adding a few things from the sticker sheet just to kind of tie in a bit more of that craft brown colour. So I add in a couple of, I assume they're snowflakes, cookies, I don't know what they're supposed to be, the round brown things. And then I'm also adding a Christmas tree, which I'm popping up on foam first before I stick that down. And then I'm pretty sure, I add some tiny word stickers, and these are from Tim Holtz. One of his Christmas tiny word sticker collections. I'm adding that in, and then I think I add some Nouveau drops. Now I have technically 4 Nouveau drops, but 3 of them are Christmas colours. My sister got me 2, so she got me a red and a green, and then I bought a light blue colour, which works really well with these Christmas collections, and then I got a white one, which is actually one of the stone drops, which I don't like. It's too lumpy. It's supposed to be. It's a textured Nouveau drop, but I don't like it. It doesn't come out nice. It doesn't form nice dots. So yeah, I'm not a fan. I won't be buying more of that particular style, but it's a white one as well, and they're the 4 that I have. So yeah, I will add those at the end. So I'm adding these tiny word stickers. I've nearly used this whole sheet, which are the black and the gold accents. So the other ones are black and silver, and then I have a white and silver sheet as well. But clearly I like gold because I've basically used all of those. The only ones I pretty much haven't used are the ones that say about it being cold or snow, because they don't relate to us here. In Australia, we don't have cold and snow at Christmas. We have summer. And so I'd never use, or I often don't use those. I like it now. I notice a lot of places are doing things like warm wishes, which is nice because I can use those because I have warm wishes for people. It doesn't have to relate to the weather. So here you go. I'm adding my Nuvo drops, and I actually find them really easy to use, and they dome really nicely, and I think they look good. So I must remember to get them out a bit more often. I don't, I could buy more, sure, but I don't probably need more. But I will try and make use of these ones that I have. I did think about adding these wood veneer, but I decided that there was already too much going on. So I quickly put those back, and I decided not to add wood veneer, and I leave it at that. So as I said, there's another video coming up after this one, which you are welcome to watch. It's the same layout. It's just in a 12x12 format, and it's not Christmas themed. So please hang around. Also, tomorrow, Jess, my sister Jess, is up on our channel with her take on my layout, and then she will pass it down the line. So all up over 9 days, there will be a video up each day. So definitely go and check out Sandie from the start. Everybody will be linked in the description box down below. So go and check them out and go back through. I would recommend you probably start with Sandie and then follow down through the list. Hannah and Sarah and Brianna and Janet and myself, and then my sister, and then Jessica, another Jessica, and then Alyssa, and we'll be all finished. Alyssa is wrapping us up. So I think from a US perspective, we're posting from the 1st of July until the 9th of July. So yeah, how fun is that? Definitely go and check them out. Feel free to stay on. I will keep narrating. I won't stop. But I understand if you would like to go on and leave and watch the next lot of videos. Or you can watch me put together another layout that is pretty much the same, just using a whole different collection. And it's not Christmas themed. So this is using Pink Fresh Studio, A Case of the Blahs. I have a lot of this. I'm pretty sure I got it in a Secret Not Secret kit. And I also got it in a Kitaholics kit, I'm pretty sure. So I have a decent amount, and I wasn't drawn to this collection much at all, to be honest. When I first got it, I wasn't a huge fan, but when I pulled it out to make this layout, I realized that a lot of it is going to very much suit our current situation, shall we say. It's all about staying home and, meh, and sort of feeling a bit whatever, Case of the Blahs, as the name suggests. And so I think I'm going to actually pull it out and try to kill my stash of this, to scrap a whole heap of the photos that I took during COVID. I think they will work well. So I have to remember to pull out that collection and keep it kind of on my desk so I remember to use it. So that's exciting. So I've done my strips, my paper strips, and the same as in my first video, I roughed the edges up with a scissors. I do have one of those distress tools, but I actually have absolutely no idea where it is. I dropped it in my craft room, and there is not that much stuff on the floor of my craft room, but I have no idea where it went. I even pulled apart my bin and everything, but it has gone. So I'm sure I'll find it one day. But at this point, I don't have it. So I'll just give you some background. These photos, you can see I'm lying on a bed, and if you've got eagle eyes, you can probably tell we're in a hospital. So this was the first time I had to take Link to the emergency department at our local hospital. So he was having some breathing issues. Now, that sounds scary, and it was. We were fairly sure it was croup. We had been to the GP, and they had said croup and given us some steroids to take. You're only supposed to take those for 2 days, and if it hasn't gotten better, you are supposed to take your child to the emergency department. But also because of Link's medical condition, he has a damaged windpipe or trachea because of his condition. And so I had already spoken to his paediatrician, who is not the doctor that we saw. We just went to a GP. And his paediatrician had said to me, if he's not better after 2 days, you must take him to the hospital. And so, of course, we did that. Now, we just wanted to make sure that it was only croup and it wasn't something else more sinister. And luckily enough, it was just croup. So it was nothing to worry about, but we did take him in to get checked. And it was a very long stay. I think it took us about 4 hours to be seen. They were very busy for some reason. We are living on the outer suburbs of Melbourne, and the hospital, our local hospital, it's sort of like a country hospital, to be honest. It's quite small. It's a lovely hospital. It's where I had Link. They are beautiful and lovely, and they were great when we were there, but they're just really busy and quite small. So in hindsight, we should have taken him into the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne, into the city, which is only about 40-minute drive from us, but we didn't. But if we ever need to take him in, we will take him to the Royal Children's. The main reason we were in for so long is because they didn't understand his medical condition. It's quite rare, and so they were quite concerned, and they wanted us to stay for observation. Now, if any of you have children with additional needs, you will know this. You get to know your own child very well, and so by the time we were seen by the doctor, I knew, and my partner knew, that Link was fine. His breathing had calmed. He was happy. He was fine. We suspected it was still just croup. And if those of you who've had croupy babies, you know there's nothing much you can do about it. You've got to ride it out. So we were ready to go home, but they wouldn't let us because they were worried about his condition. In the end, they did let us go home because they could tell that we weren't worried about him. And so they did let us go home, and he was perfectly fine. But, it was an interesting experience, and so we will take him to the Royal Children's next time because they are very experienced with his condition, and so that will be helpful. So I just waffled through that whole layout, but it's done. I edited out a lot of it, probably a lot more than I would have normally because you just watched that first part of the video. So pretty much I just did my embellishments in basically the same spots. And I just had a really big title, which is what Janet had in her original video. And so I took inspiration from that and a nice long title and lots of word, phrase, icons. So thank you for watching. Definitely go and check out everybody's videos, particularly Janet's, and we will see you later. Bye.